In this video, I am going to introduce the concept of a parabola as a conic section. All right, I have myself, it's a generic parabola. Nothing has been measured, so nothing is perfect. In fact, my lines aren't even straight, and neither are my curves. All right, the maroon is my parabola. All right, and by definition, a parabola is a set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a fixed line, this right here called the directrix, and a fixed point that is not on the line. That fixed point is called your focus. So the focus is not on the parabola, it's not on the line, and every point on this parabola is equidistant from this focus and this line. So if I were to draw a line from my focus to the parabola, and then from the parabola to the directrix, all right, if this were drawn correctly, this distance would equal this distance. Okay, so that's how we get the concept of a parabola. What's really cool is that focal point is things like, you ever seen satellite dishes, for like your televisions and things? Well, that's the whole concept of the focal point. That's what that little ball thing is in the center. Now, we're going to look a little bit at some of the basic equations. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you might see it, okay? For an equation for a parabola like this would be, you can either say x squared equals 4 times c times y, or our textbook frequently will have this solved for the y. Y equals, see, divide by 4 and c, 1 over 4c times x squared. Use whatever is to your advantage that will help you in coming up with your equations, okay? Now, this is for a parabola that will either open up or down. That means the x is squared. So we have 2 x values for every 1 y value, okay? Now, what is c? C is the distance from the focus to the center. The center or vertex. So our vertex is at the origin of this parabola. So C is the distance from the the vertex of the parabola to that focus. So in other words, we could say that our focus for this would be at the point 0, c. Okay? And our directrix for this parabola, I can't talk today, would be the line, horizontal line, y equals negative c. All right, we are going to be using this information in some future videos to help us find equations of parabolas given things like the focus or the directrix. Now, what if your parabola were sideways? Then the x and the y are just switched. We would have here, there, y squared instead of x squared, and we would have x instead of a y. So this would be x equals 1 over 4c times y squared. And that would be for a parabola that would open sideways. Now, since the x and y has switched on a parabola that would open sideways, the focus would be at c, 0, because it would be an x coordinate, and the directrix would be the line x equals negative c. All right, we're going to use that information in some future videos to do some find equations and maybe draw some graphs. Alrighty, have fun.